Hi, this is Marcia Kish, and today I'm going to be talking about the LiveStream classroom. Wait, what's a LiveStream classroom? A LiveStream classroom is where students are joining the classroom virtually and on site at the same time. So today I'm going to walk you through a 45-minute class period and how to manage both those on-site kids and the virtual kids and making sure that everybody has equal opportunity to work with a teacher and to learn in this new environment. Okay, so let's get started. What you see here is a little graph that I created. I'm looking at a 45-minute class period. Even if your class period is 50 minutes, I would still recommend looking at this 45 minutes because there's always going to be buffers of kids going from one, getting kids in, mask breaks, whatever that might be. So if you have a little bit more time or even a little bit less time, this could be one guide that you could use. So I'm setting this up basically in 4 chunks. Well, technically 5. But the reason why 4 is because there's going to be 2 whole group sessions. So you can see the little icons across the top. Whole group, small group 1, small group 2, whole group, and closing. So we're going to take that lesson that we normally do, and we're going to break it up into these 5 chunks to really make sure that we're working with all students. The first chunk that we're going to take a look at is the beginning part, the attendance. Getting the bell ringer going, making sure the kids know exactly what to do. Both the virtual and on-site kids will be in on this beginning part of your lesson. The Zoom kids that are joining in virtually, what you're going to do is you're going to go in, you're going to get them in, you're going to check for attendance. I only gave 5 minutes. I know, some kids don't even get in by that time. What do we do? Well, don't worry. My next step is going to walk us through that piece. Our next step is going to be for the next 10 minutes, we're going to do a whole group instruction. We're going to go over those key elements that you're going to be teaching in your classroom. And we're going to do this whole group with both the virtual and on-site kids. Here's my little tip. Set up studio experts. The student experts in your classroom can be the ones who are going to become co-hosts of your online environment. So when kids are trying to join your session, you can have a student in your classroom help you out and allow those students to join in. So you are going to go ahead and get started with your lesson 5 minutes after class starts, even if kids aren't there. Here's tip number 2. Always record your beginning whole group lesson. That 10 minutes, record that. That way the kids can come back and rewatch it. If they miss it, they have technical issues, whatever it might be. Record that first 10 minutes. I gave examples. Google Slides, Pear Deck, and Nearpod. Even if you're going to plan on using your interactive panel to draw, write, showcase, try doing it with one of these tools. That way the kids in the Zoom sessions or your Google Meet sessions can see exactly what you're writing on the board. It will help. And plus, those kids that are in your classroom, they don't have to join Zoom. They could just go in and join either Pear Deck or Nearpod, or you could share out that slide and it will pop up on their screens. I know some of my schools, you're still waiting on your technology to arrive. I get it. Until then, you can just use your interactive panel. The students can watch that slideshow, but eventually when you get to become one-to-one or you have enough devices for the students, I think that might be a good idea. So 2 tips. 1, make sure you have student experts. It's going to help you. 2, use some type of a slideshow presentation so the other kids can see what you are doing. Okay, so there's our first 15 minutes of class. Let's keep rocking and rolling. All right, the next one is going to be our first small group. I'm going to start out my small group lesson with my virtual kids. What's a small group? A small group is where I am going to reteach, use anchor charts, use examples, use manipulatives to reteach that concept that I was teaching in that whole group. I'm going to break it down. I'm also going to allow time for kids to ask questions. I'm going to give them a sample problem. They might try it, see if they can get it. I'm still teaching them, but we're teaching it to either the virtual kids or the on-site kids. My first small group is going to be my virtual kids. They're going to stay on at 8 o'clock. They're going to go through the whole group, and then they're going to do that small group instruction with me. When time is up, those kids can either A, still stay in Zoom or Google Meets, or they leave altogether. and they'll come back at the end of class. Up to you. What are the kids doing in my classroom? The kids in my classroom right now, they are going to be working on independent practice or digital content or even a hands-on project. So they are going to be doing something while I am working with the virtual kids. This is where a checklist comes in. If you don't know about a checklist, I've got plenty to share, and we'll get you some that will work for you. Not more work, but it will just help manage the classroom while you are working with one group. Okay. At 8:25, your virtual kids again are going to leave the meeting and you are going to be working with the other group, the kids on site. The kids on site now are going to be doing your anchor charts, going over key concepts. What are the next steps? Reteaching those things to them. While the kids in the virtual world are working on their independent practice. If you look at the notes section, I put that they can either stay on Zoom or leave. Some teachers that we're working with, they prefer to kids stay on just in case somebody else has a question. Those virtual kids can hear. And they might be like, oh, okay. It's up to you, however you want to manage it. Okay, now we're at 8:35. I'm going to bring everybody back together for our whole group exit ticket, give them time to complete the assignments, maybe their homework for the next night. Both the virtual and on-site students are going to join me at this time. Finally, I'm going to do the closing of the lesson. I'm going to go over the key elements of what we were talking about. What did that look like? Get them ready. And I do one more quick check-in. I'm going to have my Zoom kids type their name in the chat box. And then my on-site kids, of course, I'm going to make sure that they're all good to go. That way I can count for all 45 minutes of learning. Even if they leave the Zoom room, they need to come back by the time 8:30 rolls around. I think that's why most teachers are just leaving them in the Zoom room. Totally up to you. There we go. What did we do? We broke our lesson into 2 chunks, a small group and independent practice. And that 45 minutes is going to really help our students to understand these key elements. This PDF is going to be found on our website, blendedlearningpd.com. You're going to go to the store and you're going to be able to grab this free PDF to help you through this live streaming activity. Again, blendedlearningpd.com. Grab this PDF, print it out, and now you're going to have a little bit of a guide to help you through this new way of learning. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Marcia Kish, and I'm here to help you. Thanks, guys, and have a good day.